Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using White Newman Tarot by, I want to say it's BG something. Elba BG. It's at the top here. And the website is Liminal11. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. I don't think I missed any information on that. Supportive Oracle cards. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Website for this one is rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, use an umbrella. And the dice I use are the D&D dice. I use the 20, the 12, and the 4. The 20 for the major arcana, which does omit 21, but I work with it. And the 12 for the suits up to Knight. Again, it omits the Queen and King, but I work with it. And the 4 is for which element, like fire, earth, air, water. Okay, and now, on to your read. Hello Capricorn, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? Ooh, okay. We like that card. Let's get all through them before we get too excited, though. Well, what is this outside influence? Okay. This. Okay. The first thing I'm getting, there's changes happening. There is a new beginning happening. You're in the position to steer that new beginning, that new, I want to say new procedure. So you're in a position to really steer this where you want it to be. Capricorn is all about boundaries. I really think that, and you know, usually in my opinion, Capricorn can be very strict about boundaries. I feel like Capricorn can be very cooperative when they believe in the people that they're working with, and they believe like not only that they have a sound mind to make good decisions, but they'll uphold and they'll stick with the decisions they make. When you believe that they're making good decisions, they know what they're talking about, and they will honor those decisions, I feel like Capricorn can be very cooperative. But Capricorn doesn't usually like if you don't believe that the person, first of all, knows what they're talking about, that's going to have a problem. If you don't feel like they really stand behind what they're talking about, that's, you know, same different, you know how that goes. But if you also feel like they'll make a good decision, but then they won't stick with it, you know, not good at cooperating with that either for good reason. So there's all this balancing in. You know change is coming. You've seen it coming for a while. I feel like this is one of those reasons why this isn't really that difficult, because you've known for a while it was coming. So, and I feel Capricorn's very just on the realistic front on that. Like, if it's coming, like, the ship is coming, everybody else is leaving. It's not that you like it. It's not about liking it, disliking it. It's like, I know it's happening. It's that. It's like, there's stress with it. It's not about liking it, disliking it. It's not about that. It's like, it's happening. It's happening. So, it's happening. And you've been putting a lot of thought into this change that's been coming up. Making your peace with it as best you can. Especially because the way this change is coming towards you, I don't feel like I'm pressured, like I have to make a decision right now. I feel more like, it's kind of like knowing winter is coming. It's kind of like, if you're normally, say you live closer to the equator, and you know, it's different. You don't have snow. Maybe you're in a place where you don't usually have snow year-round. You just don't at all. And you've moved to a new place, and you're like, okay, I know it's coming. We had to move, we're in this new location, I know it's coming. Alright, now that I know it's coming, what do I got to do with it? It doesn't mean I'm going to like it. Doesn't mean I want to deal with it. I don't know. I know I have to deal with it, though. What do I need to do to deal with it? You're in that boat. Kind of like, yeah, I know it's coming. It's not about liking it, disliking it. I know I have to deal with it. So I'm getting ready for it. You've been trying to work with others is what I'm also getting. Because you're like, I'm working towards this change. I'm working with what other people think. I'm working with other people do. This is what other people want. I want them to work with me. I want to stay compatible with this. If I work with them, if I'm compatible with them, if I negotiate with them, you know, I'll help them, they'll help me. That's how we'll do this. It seems like that's the smartest way to do it. I'll help them, they'll help me. I keep saying you'll help them first, which I'm kind of surprised, but it's kind of like, you know, if that's what I got to do, then that's what I got to do. Change is coming. I'm working towards it. And you're trying to be like, again, the high priestess is, it's not about good, it's not about bad. It's about, there's going to be some of both there. It's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad. It's like, I just need to get where I need to go. I need to make this work. I need to make this, you know, work out for what I need it to work out. I'm not expecting sunshine roses. I'm not expecting to be down in the dumps the whole time. I'm expecting a mix of both. So I'm just being realistic about it. There's a lot of this going back and forth, a lot of this planning. I feel like you're containing yourself in the sense of like, don't like this part, but it's part of the situation. Do like this part, going to make sure that stays in the situation. A lot of internal negotiations going on here. Okay, so there comes this moment where it's time to choose the plan. Adding in what I have to do, where things are going to go, what I want to keep, what I have to deal with, all of this, pulling this together, it's time to choose the plan. That comes up with the Seven of Pentacles. Time to choose the plan. This is like planting. This is like when the tomato plant just starts popping through the ground. You maybe got an inch of stalk and there's a couple leaves on it. Are we ready for tomatoes? No, it's going to take a bit more care. But yeah, I need to make plans. Like I need to make sure I have the cage for it. I aerate the soil right well. I make sure I keep animals and bugs away from it. You know, it gets enough sun, all that other good stuff. This is coming through. The Ace of Swords, and there's something pushing. And the Four of Pentacles, which this should be compatible with you. Other people having ideas and pushing forward those ideas. This might be a situation where you're learning something. Because it's kind of like, all right, this is what they want. This is what they're saying. I guess I could just kind of work through it. Let it just kind of come together as it does. Learn as I go. And have faith that they know what they're talking about. That seems so odd that Capricorn would do that. This is not a good path for you, by the way. There's a reason you might choose that path. Maybe you feel like you have to. Maybe you're kind of like, maybe you're learning something and like, I guess I just have to learn as I go. I guess I have to see what they do. I have to see what they choose and just kind of work with it. Ironically, that's not a good path for you. For those of you who are considering that, there's good reason behind it. Maybe there's people connected that you feel like, I gotta stay in good contact with them, or they've done this before, so I guess I'll just kind of go their direction because they know what they're doing, obviously. They've done this before. They know more than I do, something like that. I'm just kind of surprised to see, like, I'm just kind of surprised that Capricorn would go that way. It just seems odd to me. Justice and the Nine of Swords reversed. I feel like I need better direction. I need more influence. I need more intel. And it's kind of like your first winter. It's like, okay, if it's my first winter, I don't know how this is going to go. These people have survived winter many times over, so what am I going to do? It almost feels like, what am I going to do? It's not like you like to, but it feels like I have to. Oh my gosh, for this phone. Stop that phone. That's not a good idea. So what is a good idea for Capricorn? It just seems very odd that Capricorn would even consider that. Because I'm getting like, whatever's going on, they're going to keep doing what they do. If you kind of follow that route, it seems like it makes sense because like these people have done it before. They seem to be more worried about themselves, and they seem to leave you to just figure it out on your own. It just does not seem to work. That's not going to be a good plan for you to try to... I feel like you're relying on people thinking they're going to help you because you've helped them, and I don't feel that like that's working. So how do we get this to work out for Capricorn? I'm just surprised you would choose that route. I'm just... Seven of Swords reversed, and the Tower reversed with the Knight of Cups. What do you want from this? Find your own way. Capricorn is smart. Y'all know you're smart. You know how to figure things out in the sense of like, okay, it's winter. What do I need to do in the winter? I got to make sure I'm warm. Got to make sure I'm dry. Got to make sure I definitely have enough food. Got to make sure I have enough water. Where am I going to get these necessary things? If I'm going to have to travel, I feel like I need to get multiple, like, what do people do? Like, when you travel, like, do people have car trouble? Like, what type of car trouble do they have? Do they have a hard time starting their car? Do they have a hard time keeping their car on the road? Do they need snow tires? Like, what type of snow tires? You know what I mean? There's different types, obviously. It's kind of like realizing, even though people might have snow tires, but when you're dealing with ice, you know, you're still going to be at disadvantage. You know, I'm just saying. They're saying, forge your own path. Do not rely on other people just because they have intel, because I feel like they're not going to help you. They're not going to take it seriously. They're not going to tell you, like, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that. You're going to ask them stuff, or like they're not going to pull it forward like they need to. You need to kind of pull this forward in your own sense. More self-sufficiency, which is, Capricorn is self-sufficient though. So I'm just kind of like, I think of you guys as very self-sufficient anyway. I mean, you could work with other people when you feel like it's appropriate, but for some reason this situation is saying you're thinking other people are going to look out for you because you looked out for them. It doesn't seem to work that way in this situation. They're saying, don't step out of that. Expect the worst. I'm surprised I'm saying that. And then just build it appropriately. Make your simple plan, your simple but stable plan, kind of like, I need to eat. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm going to have a bunch of canned vegetables, canned meat, whatever you need to do, canned beans. I'm going to have a lot of things in the freezer. I'm going to have things that I know that if I have to have it, it's there. Even if I don't use it during the winter, I can still use it up during the next season, stuff like that. I'm researching things on my own. I'm not relying on these people. I'm still surprised I'm saying this because I feel like Capricorn doesn't do that anyway, but it's coming through that way. Start building your own plan. Build it very simple. Build it very reliable. And I'm getting that that's going to give you the base to start building a better situation that's going to fit you. If you go along this other path with other people, it will work. But I feel like I'm going to constantly have to recheck things and go back, and it's going to drive you nuts. It's not that they won't help you. I feel like I said that a couple times, but it's coming back. It's not that they won't help you. They don't help you the way that you need help. They don't give you the information that you need. They don't help you build the plan that works for you anyway. You need to step back, do this as if you're going into the wilderness all by yourself. Do the research, find out what you need, build the simple plan, and start building it up from that simple plan the way you want it. That will give you the bright future that you actually need to have, that you're going to end up getting. Well, I don't know. I feel like that's the way you're going to get what you need to have. If you do it the other way, it just feels very errored, feels very uncomfortable, feels like it never really works out right. It just feels like it just never feels right. If you do it this way, you start off with that simple plan, kind of like, you know, I got a house, it's a small house, but I can afford it and it keeps me warm. I got the food, it's basic food, it's not anything gourmet, but it'll work. I got the car is very simple, but it gets me where I need to go. I don't have any of those frills or whatever, you know. I got a job so I can work from home when I have to, blah, 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 blah. I make everything as simple as possible. I made it secure. I asked people, but wasn't really sure about it, so I just did the simple plan. Then every year you just add to that simple plan. Okay, this year I had this smaller house. Next year I built it up a little better. I got some extra frills or extra things that work better for me, so I enjoy it more. the food, I learned something about what food I should have, what food I shouldn't have. Like, I didn't get this other stuff, but now I realize I could have this other stuff, so I brought this other stuff in. You know, the driving, I learned how to drive a little better in the snow, so I feel more confident that I can keep the car on the road when I need to, and I know what to deal with. It's good. That will get you where you need to go. I still feel kind of baffled. Like, I feel like there's something about this where you're not taking your normal path. I don't know why. But if you take your normal path, maybe somebody makes you feel like that's gonna sink the ship, or that's not gonna be a good idea. I don't know what's going on with it, but they're saying if you follow what you love, you do it the way you want to, you do it with your normal energy, you will get that success you need. For some reason, I feel like you're diverting from it, and I don't understand why. They're saying don't divert from it. Stay loyal to yourself. Do it the way you need to. It will work out better. Even if other people are bent out of shape and they seem to give you a hard time, like, you know, Capricorn, this is why things don't work out for you, or this is why this, or this is why that. Let them have their opinion. Let them feel the way they want to feel. You'll get that great outcome you need by following your true center. Follow your true center. It's very interesting to me. Somebody comes in, they're trying to be very, very persuasive, and I don't know how they're getting you to do it. But they're saying don't listen to that. I think it's baffling me most because we have a lot of Capricorns in my family, and you don't push a Capricorn because that never goes well. I don't know what's going on where they're kind of getting you to do this other version of things. I don't know how they're doing that. I don't get it. Don't do it. Be loyal to you. Do it your way. Be confident. You don't have to make any enemies doing it. They don't like it, then they don't need to like it. They can go do their own stuff. Just take care of yourself, move it where you need it to go. You'll have that great outcome. I don't know. I'm going to let it go. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.